Hey, and welcome back to Bourbon Blind, where the guys drink without the hype of the label. Tonight's bottle, we were talking last week about Bardstown's Discovery Series number 5 coming out. We don't have that one quite yet, but I cracked this open a couple weeks ago, been dying to get it on the show, so we're gonna do Bardstown Discovery's 4th season. Now, I am super excited about this bottle. That is, if I can get it off. Great cork pop, I might add. I really liked it when I did the neck pour of it. Last Friday I was drinking it, really liked it, and I really like these bottles, and I'm like, I wonder if it's because I've been to the distillery, and it's absolutely beautiful, and yeah, all that jazz. So I'm curious to see what Kyle and Nick think about this one. As always, the guys aren't gonna know what they're drinking. They're gonna give you some flavor notes and how much they're willing to pay dollars, and then they're going to tell you all about it. So with that, I'm gonna go get them. Thank you, big hearts, to all of our Patreon viewers. If you are curious about becoming a Patreon member, please go check out our page. We have spreadsheets and all of our glassware and shirts and all sorts of good stuff. Also, we have a couple bottles coming up. Our 1792 pick should be in hopefully soon. We did that about a month ago. We have a Four Roses pick coming out, and maybe a Buffalo Trace pick. I'm not quite sure about that one yet. But if you are interested in getting one of our selected bottles, the name of the game, they always have to go to Patreon first, unfortunately. I wish we could get all the bottles. Whatever's left over will be released over to Bourbon Blind Nation. That is our Facebook page. And after that, yeah. So with that, I'm going to go get the guys. I'm going to see what they think of this Discovery series. And yeah, that's all I got. That's not bad either.
Finger guns.
Pew, 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 pew.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Bourbon Blind. I'm Kyle.
I'm Nick.
You know what's up. Back to our regularly scheduled content. It's been
Oh, yeah.
a while.
A while.
So, sorry for that, but, you know, took a vacation the first time in 3 years. Nick was on vacation when I got back, so.
I mean, work trip, but
It's-
vacation.
He was at the beach. Let's be real.
I was at work. I was not on the beach for more than I went on the beach for 5 minutes to put my feet in the ocean.
Do it for the gram. Took a picture. You're like,
Took a picture.
"Hey,
Was
peace."
like, gotta go, guys. See you later.
Do it for the gram, sir. Do it for the gram.
It doesn't count if you don't take the picture for the gram, right? That's how. It's like if you go to the gym and don't check in, you didn't actually go to the gym.
I mean, that is how, you know, Fireball ends up in George T. Stagg.
It is.
Do it for the gram.
Do it for the gram. Hey, look, things happen. Okay, like
Choices were made. Decisions happened. Regrets.
sometimes you need an adult to tell you that you're not adult. You're not adult enough for these decisions. Here we are.
Great color on that, by the way. Legs are hanging out.
Oh, I like the
Super
nose.
thick.
Like a creme brulee, like Bananas Foster.
Yeah. Burnt caramel. Yeah, it's like that creme brulee, that top burnt caramel.
The crust.
Burnt sugar, I guess, which makes it caramel.
Kind of. It's like I wouldn't consider the crust on a creme brulee caramel.
It's not.
Right.
I mean, it is, but it's also not.
It's not, like it might be, but it's absolutely not.
Right. A little bit of oak in there.
It's got a great nose.
A little bit of that, like, leather,
Get some like leather, some tobacco.
dark aged tobacco.
Mm.
Yep.
And you can get pretty deep in there. Not a ton of ethanol.
No, like it smells like there's a lot of proof in there, but there's
Right.
not a lot of ethanol.
But
in
it doesn't like punch you in the face like some stuff does.
No. Like when your friend finds out you poured Fireball in his George T. Stagg.
That's actually the reason we haven't been on for a while is because I had to wait for the healing to finish. This is actually mostly makeup.
You're too pretty for makeup.
I'm only pretty because of the makeup to hide the caved in right side of my face.
All right. Cheers. creme brulee, dark brown sugar, molasses,
Baking spice.
leather, oak,
Clove?
baking spice. I could go with clove.
Yeah. Some sweetness.
Yeah.
But like dark sweetness.
Yes, like I said, like that
Yeah.
molasses,
Yeah.
dark brown sugar, like.
Like a... The spices almost reminding me of like a spiced rum. Like that kind of spice.
Yeah.
Because it's got the spice, some of the sweetness.
That's real good.
It's pretty solid. I'm kind of thinking it might be like a high rye mash bill or something.
Yeah, like it's. I almost want to say it's like a textbook bourbon. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot going on.
But like a textbook aged with reasonable proof.
Right, right. Like a nicely aged bourbon, good proof. Like, but it's. There's a lot going on in there, but it's all like your standard bourbon. Your textbook
notes,
bourbon notes.
Just kind of on the darker side. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd ballpark the proof at somewhere between like 110, 120.
Yeah, I'd say around 120-ish,
Yeah.
maybe even closer to like 125, 115, 125.
I don't know if I'd go 125.
I feel like it's definitely higher than 110.
Yeah, I could see that.
I feel like it's probably higher than 120. 'Cause most makers cast strength at around 110.
Right.
It's kind of my like ballpark figure.
But also Elijah Craig Barrel Proof comes out at like mid 120s to 130s.
I mean, I'm not ruling that out in the 130 range.
It's good.
With the water more dusty,
Yeah.
like dusty rickhouse barrel.
It's a little more spice forward and some more, and that a lot of that dark sweetness is kind of muted, pushed to the background, but still there.
Right. More sweetness, more baking spicy.
I was gonna say it's
Like
similar
a
on the
lighter
palate.
sweetness, more baking spicy.
Right. Similar on the palate than to the nose. It's a little more spice forward, the sweetness, and some of those other darker flavors are still there. They're just muted and kind of pushed to the background.
Okay, I can go with that.
So, still,
It's not upsetting though.
no,
like it
still
didn't
pretty
destroy
good.
it.
It's nowhere near as good as the original.
But it didn't make it bad. It didn't destroy it.
Didn't make it super
just-
acidic or
Yeah, it was
like
just
that.
different. Not quite as good. Maybe turned down a little bit.
It definitely ruined the finish because the finish before without the water was really, really good. Mm-hmm. And it hung out for a while and kept a lot of flavor. And the finish with the water just kind of hangs out with just some of that spice, and that's it.
I'm not totally ruling out like the 130 proof range. It may not be. It may be in that like 110, 120, but
If this had
like
less
125-ish is really sticking out to me.
than, yeah, the longer we go, the more I think it's like the 115, 120 range. High teens, maybe low 20s. If this is less than like 8 years old, I'd be shocked.
I really would be too. I'm gonna turn my phone off now. This is amateur hour, sir. Come on now. You know better. You shouldn't expect more out of me.
I keep trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I almost told you let's see what it is, but we should give a price tag first.
We should give a price tag.
Because we give a price tag and not a just numerical rating because
The price
we're
tag's
people-
our
we're-
rating.
We're people that like to drink whiskey, so how much is it worth is really the question.
Right. I'm like
is the question.
190 to 110.
190 to 110?
No, 90 to 110.
I would not rule out the 150 range.
All right. So clearly we both like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as you can tell,
I'm-
he and I
I'm
are on
having-
different financial levels when it comes to buying alcohol.
What is an acceptable level of price tag?
Right. That's super good.
Like I almost don't want to give a price tag. Like
You already did.
I know, but I'm trying to like narrow it down. Because when I said 150, I was thinking like 100 to 200, somewhere in that,
So that's not.
which is a very wide range.
So 100 to 200 is not 150?
It is not.
You were taking
And
the
I'm-
median.
like I said, I'm trying to like narrow it down.
We'll just hang out with. I'll hang out with them while we wait on you.
Maybe one. I'm having a really hard time with this.
It's real good.
It really is. Like I'm not ruling out 170.
The finish from my last sip is still hanging out. I still get some of that warmth and like dark sweetness. It feels like I have some molasses just kind of coating my tongue.
Like, I don't want to say 200.
So don't say 200.
But also like.
But also 200.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of like other bottles that are better than this, but at the same time, like don't compare them to that. Like
can't do that.
It's just so good though.
We are reviewing in a vacuum.
We'll put it this way, okay? If I were to go to the store and pay $200 for this, I wouldn't feel terrible.
Okay.
I've paid $200 for bottles that I like a whole lot less than this.
Okay.
So, like 150, 170, maybe 200 on the tie-in. Like.
So now do we see what it is?
Yeah. I know there's no reason, no way it's worth.
Are you nervous?
Or no way it's $200 retail. It's probably like a $40 bottle or $20 bottle. Oh, snap.
Bardstown Discovery Series.
All right, then. Yeah.
And what's the retail on that bottle?
100-ish?
I have no problem.
I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. It might be 90. It might be 110. It's somewhere right in that range.
But I nailed it.
You nailed it.
90 to 110.
This is Discovery Series number 4, which is 55% Kentucky 13-year, 37% Kentucky 15-year, and 9% Kentucky 10-year.
So, my age was, I feel like I was pretty accurate with the age. If it was under 8 years old, I'd be blown away.
Yeah.
But a blend of 8 to 15 year.
10 to 15 year.
10 to 15 year, sorry.
13, mostly 13, a good bit of 15, and a little bit of 10.
It's super good. Bardstown.
So it could even be like 14-year average.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not how they could label it, but...
No, but...
That's...
a high 13 to 14-year average.
115 proof. You nailed that. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, distilled in Kentucky. That's usually how that works. A little bit repetitive, but, I won't fault them for it.
But also considering that it says, all of them are from Kentucky. So the mash bill of the 13-year is 76% corn, 18% rye, 9% barley. The mash bill of the 15-year is 78.5% corn, 13% rye, 8.5% barley. And the mash bill of the 10-year is 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. So they're all malted barley. So same 3 ingredients on each mash bill, just at slightly different percentages.
I was trying to think of what distilleries are in that
mash bill.
Mash bill range, but I mean,
there's
so many in Kentucky are in that, like, just a few percentage points off from each other. If it was like 35% and in Kentucky, it'd probably be Four Roses.
Right.
But, so many distilleries are right in that range.
Right.
If you know what distilleries these are, or at least one of them, put them in the comments. I'd love to know.
He'll pin it if you put it in the comments.
I probably will.
We need works cited, proof. We need references, citations. Needs to be in MLA format.
So Bardstown is a newer-ish
distillery
distillery in Kentucky.
Their building is gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Their restaurant is, oh my God, it's so good.
It's really, really good.
Yeah. Super cool atmosphere.
Yeah, very modern, but they have their whiskey menu is beyond compare.
And it's stuff from everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, they have stuff from like the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
On there, like they have a lot of vintage bottles. Just really, really awesome. Their prices are not bad. Like their food's on the nicer end, but their food is on the nicer end.
Right.
So
it's worth what you're paying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, it's worth the price of entry. And they are one of the biggest distilleries in Kentucky. Like, even though they're newer,
They're huge.
Especially as far as like not established distilleries in the last 20 years, I think they're the biggest there is. So they're putting out a lot of stuff. They are blending more and more of their own product as it becomes of age. They don't want to put out anything that they don't want to put their name on, and I respect them for that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Bardstown is...
They do some really cool stuff.
Yeah, they do some really awesome
Absolutely
stuff. Their
cool
5 for Pavitt is amazing. Yeah, I mean,
I haven't had anything from them that hasn't been genuinely fantastic.
And
Whether
I mean,
it's blended from other people or their own stuff.
like,
That's a great cork.
Great cork pop. Like,
Solid.
that's solid.
Like, if you're going to put out, like, a special series, make the whole thing like an experience. This comes in a really nice box. It's got a fantastic cork with a great topper and really cool design. I don't know.
That is each wall unique.
Right. It's got like some corn leaves like imprinted on the bottle. That's just really, really cool.
They do awesome stuff. And what I appreciate is if you're going to put out a bottle that's $100,
Make it
a little special, man. Like,
Make it
even
worth
just
it.
the nice solid metal cork top.
Right. And the
I
even
appreciate
without
that.
the
That's
cork,
awesome.
like the bottle itself, the glass jar feels
Premium. Right.
Like the whole experience, starting at the distillery down to the packaging of that bottle, feels like a premium experience.
Right.
And it feels like it's worth the price of entry when you're buying a $100 bottle. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of $100 bottles out there that
Are not special.
no, the glass feels thin, and it's just like a plastic topper on top of the cork, and the cork feels cheap, and
You look at the back of it, and it's like aged at least 6 months, and you're like, not for $100, it's not.
yeah, and you see that out of, I see it out of a lot of the newer craft distilleries that are trying to take part of the bourbon craze,
Right.
and look, I am all for craft distilleries. If I'm in an area and there's a craft distillery,
yeah,
more often than not, I'll buy a bottle.
Yeah, we're all about trying to help smaller distillers as much as
Right.
we can. But I mean, if you're a smaller distillery and you're putting out a 6-month product at $100, like, that's just a hard pill to swallow.
It's a bit brave.
But for 10 to 15 year Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, expertly blended, nice packaging, yeah, absolutely, $100.
Yeah.
No problem.
Well, in my opinion, and people can disagree with me all they want. It's a free world. Once you break that 3-digit mark for a bottle before tax, you put yourself, in my opinion, in a different category. Right? You're now in a premium spirit.
You have to make me feel good about buying it.
Right, exactly. Like, I want to get home and look like I want to on the drive home look into my passenger seat or look in the mirror into the back seat and be like, I can't wait to open that box. I want to see what this is all about.
Right.
And like just the experience of like the Master's Keep from Wild Turkey, those boxes, the packaging is super premium.
Right, you open it up. It's a nice, like, decanter style bottle.
Right. Yeah,
nice top. Like, it's just great.
Blood Oath is another one that I can think of. That the boxes are unique. Really,
the label
cool
has that
looking.
really cool, like, gold foil
right
on it. Like,
one of the the Clyde Mays. They have like ones in a box.
like a nice wooden box.
Right, and like the label looks like it's a really thin wood veneer that's been put on there. I don't know if it is or not. I haven't actually touched one of them, but stuff like that, like make it an experience, right? They're your
And
customers
if you have to charge an extra $10 or $15 for it,
do it. I don't
cool.
care.
Like,
Your customers are going to have an experience of enjoying the whiskey. Let them also have an experience of opening their whiskey.
right. So, anyway, you know who else makes some awesome stuff? Sap 56.
They do. I've got it right here. Look at that.
They are the sponsor of today's video, and they are out of Canada, for some of you people. And it is a at least 5-year-old Canadian whiskey that is blended with, I want some of this.
It's so good.
It is blended with pure grade A maple syrup that they harvest themselves 56 days a year, if you can figure out where they got that name from. It's like $30 a bottle. It's not expensive, and it's
60 proof.
Yeah, it's technically a liqueur,
Right.
but it's not. I would have no problem drinking it neat, obviously. Also, it's really good in a cocktail. It's just fantastic. So be sure to check them out.
I would love to try around to mess around and make like some old fashions with this. To make like a mint julep with this. I feel like that minty and sweetness would be fantastic.
Yeah. I want something with chocolate in this.
I would pour this on chocolate ice cream. Chocolate chip pancakes. Forgo the syrup. Get me drunk at breakfast. I got no problem with that.
Yes. So it does have 50% less sugar than most other liqueurs, and it is all natural. So be sure to check out Sap 56. Like I said, they're doing awesome stuff. It really is good.
It's so good. It's like you get no ethanol. There's no heat. There's no, and you shouldn't expect it for something at 30%. But the point is, it tastes like you're drinking maple syrup.
Yeah. Like you have the whiskey in there, and it's almost all whiskey on the nose.
Right.
Which is the really interesting part.
Yeah, you pick up some of that sweetness, but it's not like a syrup sweetness. It's almost like a darker molasses sweetness on the nose.
Right. And then on the palate, you get that nice Canadian whiskey mixed with pure Canadian maple syrup, and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
So be sure to check them out. And if you made it this far in the video, bravo to you guys. And
yeah, we've been on some tangents today.
We have.
We're out of practice. Glad you could join us.
So, but yeah, Bardstown doing amazing stuff. Please be sure to check them out. Like I said, their Pfeiffer Pavitt series is amazing. The Discovery series is awesome. They've just been knocking it out of the park. They really have.
Yeah. If you go on the Bourbon Trail, do not miss out on swinging through Bardstown.
And plan on stopping there at lunch or dinner because, like I said, their restaurant is fantastic.
Grab a little bit to eat and then go on a tour, do some more tastings, and continue your day.
That's right.
And then after you're done with your tour, go back and grab another appetizer because they're fantastic. Their appetizers are literally killer.
Next level.
Yeah.
For real. So, anyway, Nick, appreciate you coming on, buddy.
Happy to do it.
So, anyway, like I said, you guys are the real VIPs here. So, Patreon members absolutely love you. And we got bottles coming for our Patreon members. 1792 we went and picked out. And
1792 full proof. It'll be just short of like 7.5 years by the time it's done.
And then we have a Four Roses pick coming up next month. So that's 2 months.
2 months. August.
Very beginning of August.
Right.
So anyway, be sure to check that out. Until Friday noon Central next week, I'm going to do finger gun or something.
Pew, pew,
Don't know
pew,
what
pew.
I'm doing. So yeah, till Friday noon Central next week. Cheers. Drink blind.
Drink your way. Fucking Christ. God damn it.
You suck at this.
Let's try that again.
Until Friday noon Central next week. Cheers and drink blind.
Drink your way.
We want to give a huge shout out to all of our Patreon people. Absolutely thank you. You guys are freaking magical. T-shirts at Teespring, link in the description.
Also, thank you to anyone who has ever supported us, whether that's either coming on a live, chit-chatting with us on a Thursday night, or if you just like to watch our episodes, we appreciate every one of you.
Until Friday noon Central next